guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a slight analyzation, more just generally talking about the Jurassic World Rebirth Titanosaurus. So let's jump into this video. Okay, I know that I've been harsh on this creature in the past, I still do not like it, but I've come around on it slightly. Oh, so slightly. There are still two things that are my big issue with this thing, and outside of those ones, the other ones I can somewhat ignore. One issue is being the face is just really ugly. Like, that's the rest of the design is actually pretty decent, but the face is just really bad, and also the fact that it's still called Titanosaurus. Again, I have heard some people say that it hasn't been technically finalized as Titanosaurus, so maybe they may name it as some other Titanosaur. That would help a lot, but generally still nothing's going to help that face's model being really weird, and we'll talk about that more in a second. But generally, the actual sails, again, not my favorite decision. We could have had spines or osteoderms, but they're also not the worst. And the long tail is something that I never really had an issue with. I just kind of find it interesting that they decided to give a long whip-like tail on a Titanosaur, which, at least from what I can tell, did have long tails, but not this long. This is more of a Diplodocus tail, and maybe should have been on a Apatosaurus or Diplodocus, which should have been in the franchise. But anyways, just take a closer look at this design. Generally, the patterns, I must admit, the patterns are great on this thing. Again, face is bad, the sails, I guess, are fine enough, and the tail, even though it is really long, I do think it still looks nice. Now look at the face of this thing, which is really grainy since this is a really far away image. It doesn't look like a sauropod face. Even sauropods that have larger, like more round, blunt faces like this, such as Camarasaurus, don't have faces that look this ridiculous. And here's on the top you can see an Argentinosaurus or an Argentinosaurus or some sort of sauropod skull, more specifically some sort of Titanosaur. And on the bottom you have the rumored design for the Titanosaur's head, since that's one. This image is a little bit better quality. It still looks identical to the one that's kind of in the film, just different colors. Why? It kind of looks like they took the top part of the head and flipped it around for some reason and just kind of pushed it into the face. I think the head is just really bad in my opinion. Anyways, I did do a slight redesign, giving it spines going all the way down the back, giving it a proper Titanosaur head, and also calling this thing Argentinosaurus like it should be. Honestly, this thing could be really named any large Titanosaur. It could be called, they could just call it Argentinosaurus, Paralotitan, Australotitan, there's many others they could went with. But, again, I think Argentinosaurus is the best choice. And I know there's no way that they're going to change the back to spikes in the head, but at least changing the name would help somewhat. Anyways, moving on to the figures we have the Lego figure, which honestly looks okay enough. Again, the head on this one actually kind of looks like it has an inflatable sack, which the design doesn't look like it. The weird part of the face is an inflatable sack. It looks more like there might be an inflatable sack there, but it just doesn't look like it is entirely one, which I think would have actually maybe made the head look a little bit better if it was just entirely an inflatable sack. But yeah. Anyways, we have the Mattel figure, which I actually do like the Mattel figure. It doesn't look quite screen accurate to the actual figure, which I think is actually a good thing, since this the actual design of this thing, sorry about that. The actual design looks good, and the face looks way better than the actual figure that we got. Generally, I like this one so much better than the other one. Though I do have to admit, the lack of paint on the sails would help this out quite a bit. Anyways, I did do a design of it having actual spines going down the back, which I don't think I executed it the best, but making it look more like the Mattel Diplodocus would also work a lot. And also, just generally looking at this design, I just kind of want to call it Argentinosaurus. I'll probably just call it Argentinosaurus when I get the figure. But anyways, again, not my favorite creature. Definitely probably my least favorite design in the film so far, outside of the mutant, but we do not speak of that thing. But yeah, again, don't hate it as much. Probably just gonna, pretty much, this thing is just the Dinodex Centaurus to me now at this point. It's ugly. Not my biggest thing, but I can kind of ignore the badness of the design and just kind of ignore it. But yeah, anyways, the Mattel figure is great. The design in the film is not the best. The Lego figure is decent. And yeah, don't hate this thing with with a passion anymore. Now that's the mutant's job. Anyways, again, what are your guys' opinion on this thing? How do you think they could have done it better? Do you guys like this thing? If you do like it, why do you like it? I need to know. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye. Also, when I say I need to know like what good qualities this is, because I obviously am not seeing it. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.